Welcome, everyone. Episode 2. Kevin, Greg, fit in 10. And today's topic, in 10 minutes or less, I got to check the timer. Gym, going to the gym, or home workouts. Which one is better?
Well, so what's been your experience with
It's a
this?
hot topic.
I want to share my experience too. What's your experience
I'll
with?
dive right in because before I started P90X, this home workout program I think it kind of works. Before I started that, I was going to the YMCA about 2-3 times a week, roughly. It was pretty bad. And it wasn't even that far, but it was enough for me when it's cold outside, it's dark. Do I want to get up and roll out of bed, go across town, get into the gym and go probably change clothes, find equipment? I had no program I was following. I would lift a couple weights over here and maybe get on the treadmill, and I didn't have any success. I wonder why. But then when I started working out at home, I probably saved myself at least an hour a day.
Well, so when you're saying, well, that's true, it does save you time. But when you're saying working out at home, are you talking about, you just have your own equipment and you're just doing things at home, or what were you talking about?
Exactly. I started small, but I just kept adding equipment. I used bands at the very beginning because I didn't want to buy all the weights. And then there's a lot of workouts I was doing they were all body exercises as well. So I was using my own body weight. But it works.
Well, and the reason that I think it works, and I kind of want to talk about this and a little bit on my side of things, is that it's a structure. It's a plan. It's put together by experts. It's written out. They done test groups. They make sure that if you follow this system, you work out and do this video this day, you do this video the next day, you do this video this day, hey, you rest this day, that you are going to see results. And I think they've run tests on it. I think that's why it works, is because it was put together by experts,
Right.
I was talking with a friend, and with my experience on this, when I got started, I was lucky enough. I was 16, but somewhere in my head, I knew you can't just go around and toss around weights. You got to have a plan to follow. And kind of some development happened, and I've been talking with some friends on this, and it's like, if you want to do your own thing, and go to the gym and try, it works for some people, but that some is like, a very small. The majority of people that go to a gym look the same day in and day out, year in and year out. They don't change, even though they're in there putting in the work consistently. And I think it's because they don't have a plan to follow. It needs to change. Their structure needs to change. They need to have intensity every single time, but whatever the reason is that they're not following it, that's what a plan helps you to not fall through that pit hole, and we go to experts to clean our teeth.
Hopefully we do.
Hopefully we do. Why wouldn't you go to an expert for your own health and fitness?
I have to comment on that is I think everyone, I'm going to pick on the guys especially, there's more of an ego there usually. Mm-hmm. And it's almost a status thing too, where I go to the gym. I go to the gym. And I push weights around, so I'm a guy, and that seems to be more of it's easier to say that and feel good about it than actually, I work out at home and I actually have better success.
Right.
Maybe it sounds like it doesn't sound right to them. But it's having that structure too, because if you don't have the plan, you're spending all of your energy and your thought trying to figure out, you get up in the morning, okay, now what do I do? And it's enough to have you stop and not even start it.
Right. And like imagine a football team that didn't have a game plan.
Hut.
Exactly.
Who's got the ball?
Yeah. Right? So it's the same thing. You need a game plan. Now, I want to take a step back. Now, I know there are guys who go into the gym with a game plan. And it works in the beginning. But then it stops working. And that's where your body's smart. You can't just do the same thing over and over again. So you do need it to adapt. You do need it to change. And I think that's where the home fitness programs really come into play, because it accounts for that. It changes up all the time. And I do want to hit on too, and I want your opinion on this. I teach at gyms. And I know you do too. You know, we teach.
I have in the past, yes.
Right. So, okay. I teach group fitness, and I'm in gyms all the time. I work out in the gym, but I also have a home gym. And I'm going to show you guys right there. There's my home gym. Holla.
Nice.
See all those weights?
Office gym. Office.
Exactly. Kitchen. That's all you need. But anyway.
It's the crib episode with Kevin. It's the 1 minute episode.
There you go. But anyway, so I have weights, and that's been years of accumulating equipment and stuff like that. And so I do work out at home when I absolutely have to, or when I just want to. You know, one of those days I just want to turn off the world and do my thing. But there is a social aspect to gyms, which can be good and it can be bad. And I think it's good for accountability, and I think it's good, you know, just to get out and meet people. I go to the gyms, but I follow the in-home programs. I use my phone. There's mobile trackers. Yeah. So because I've done the programs in-home, I know what to do. So I'm just going to go and do them in the gym with more equipment, but also the social aspect and just to get out of my house because I work from home. So, you know, there's not really another reason to leave but to go get groceries, have meetings, and go to the gym. So
what I find, too, is I do work out at home pretty much all the time, but I also have a little fitness room downstairs in an apartment building. So I find myself going over there maybe on the weekends or some mornings just to get out of the same area. Mm-hmm. And I do find myself, even when there's not many people in there, loitering around more, taking longer breaks or whatever. And, but when I have a video playing or what, I'm specifically pushed on the time, so I follow it.
No, you are going now, and you're like, oh crap.
But I mean, when you're at a gym, you see people walking by, and there's distractions. We'll call it at a gym, and you're everyone's trying to impress people. I mean, and then there's people that are trying to hide because they don't want to get bothered. But there's that aspect there, and it's going to always be there with anytime you put more than a couple people in a room.
Right.
You're trying to impress someone, or you're trying to hide, and it's just there's a lot more things going on. But it can be good.
Yeah, definitely. And I do want to hit on some of the trainings too, because, you know, I'm a trainer. So obviously I want people to come to my classes. People who come to my classes, it works. But I also recommend that they do stuff at home or they follow some sort of a plan and have somebody else telling them what to do. It's a humbling experience. But to have somebody say, okay, it's time to switch it, or okay, you need to tweak this, you know, we aren't experts. I don't count myself as an expert, and I teach group fitness. Like, you know, I don't go in the gym and do my own thing because I don't know it. There are people who are further along than me. So, you know, while obviously going to the classes is great, you still need to have some sort of a structure or some sort of a plan. So, you know, I think you should get with somebody. But also, I want to hit on, we got 2 minutes to talk about personal training. It works. I'm not going to lie. Personal training works. But there's 2 downfalls that I think, and that's you only get an hour with them, and then you're kind of left on your own for the rest of the month, or the rest of the week, and it can get really expensive. The lowest I've ever seen it is $25 an hour, which is
that's really cheap.
Freaking low.
Really
okay,
cheap.
Let's do that. If you were to go 4 times a week, which is bare freaking minimum, you need to really do it 6 times a week, right? That's already $100. Or you can get an in-home program for like $140, and it covers your nutrition. Personal trainers can't talk on nutrition. It's illegal. It's not their source of expertise.
No, but I'll end on this, or we'll try to end on this, is that you're covering personal training if you go that route, and you're talking to someone separately for nutrition.
Right.
So there's 2 people, plus you're still trying to combine the 2 because there's probably different opinions that go in there as well. Maybe the workouts don't really jive with the nutrition specifically.
Yeah.
The amount of food or whatever it is. But it's a no-brainer to me for what I mean, you got to find what works for you and maybe a combination. But like what you're saying in the group fitness piece, I can see people go into a class, and there's usually a calendar there of, you know, the class might be similar days and times, but they'll just go here, here, and here. I think we're out of time.
Yeah.
But they don't really follow the format.
Yeah.
So any last thoughts on this whole gym versus
it works for some people. Home fitness works for most people. It's ego crushing, but you got to do it, especially as a guy. It may be more comfortable. And if the gym is going to work, it's going to be more expensive.
Definitely.
It's going to say
maybe it's a combination.
Yeah, and there's more support at in-home because of Beachbody, which is the main leader in in-home fitness. We got coaches, us, that are there to support other people 24/7. So I think it's awesome. But anyway, that's our 10 minutes on the dot. So Fit in 10.
Episode 2. All the links to all our information will be down below.
Make sure you guys hit that subscribe, give us a thumbs up, comment below, let us know how you thought about it. Boom!
Until next week. In episode 3, there'll be a brand new topic. We don't even know what it is yet, so I'm sure you're on the edge of your seat. We'll see you guys next week.
Deuces.